Alright, Shalom Akim, Shalom Yasharallah. First off, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. And I want to give double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us His truth to rule well. This is the brother Izar out here in Midland, Texas. You know, coming back out here to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom, the downfall of Esau, Edom, the uprising of Israel, Yashar Allah. He is a prince of the power. All right, and also prophesying, you know, the downfall of really every other nation, man. You know, so Israel is going to be on top, you know, ruling under Yahweh Shai, who is the Messiah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, and ruling under Yahweh the Most High, who the world ignorantly calls God. All right. So I'm gonna start it off with Job chapter 20 and verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth? All right. So from the beginning, man, from the beginning, this is when, you know, and notice it says man. All right. It doesn't say since, you know, Adam, or since one person was set. It says man, since man was set upon earth. All right. Because when Adam was set up, all right, that doesn't mean that there wasn't anybody else around. You know, because Eve came from the family of Adam, you know. So it says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth? All right, so from the beginning of days, man, it says the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. All right, now who was in that in the beginning, man? You know, it was people, you know. People were set up in the kingdom, or in the, you know, in Salaki, lost my train of thought. They were set up in Eden, you know, Salakia. So let me go to Ezekiel. What was it, Ezekiel 31? I believe, if I'm not mistaken. All right, it's Ezekiel chapter 31. Ezekiel 29, Ezekiel 31. And I'm going to read on that one. All right. Ezekiel 31 and verse 1, and it came to pass in the 11th year, in the 3rd month, in the day of, in the 1st day of the month, that the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak unto Pharaoh king of Egypt, and unto the multitude, whom art thou like a great, thy greatness? Behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon, with fair branches, and with a shadowing shroud, and of a high stature, and his top was among the thick boughs. The waters made him great, the deep set him up on high, with her rivers running round about his plants, and set out her little rivers unto all trees of the field. All right, so now it's explaining those rivers that you hear in Genesis chapter 2. All right, those rivers are in the cradle of civilization, man, you know, which is over there in the so-called Middle East. All right, it says, trees of the field, verse 5. Therefore his height was exalted above all trees of the field, and his boughs were multiplied, and his branches became long, because of the multitude of waters when he shot forth. All right, so over there in the cradle of civilization, all right, where those rivers ran through, you know, all the trees were flourishing, man, because trees that are by waters flourish. All right, so it's talking about a place, you know, which, let me get this real quick, you know. just to prove this point real quick. But Ezekiel 31 is going into, all right, that land, not necessarily the people, but also it's going into the spirits, all right, because all spirits come back in the flesh, man. All right, check this out. Damn. All right, so that cradle of civilization, which let me get that one too. Is over there in the so-called Middle East, around Egypt, above Egypt, around that area. Let's see, cradle. Alright, so here you have it. It's actually Assyria right here. It shows you. Alright. Gives you a good depiction. I can't really click on one of them, but it gives you a good depiction of ancient Assyria. Alright. There it goes. That's ancient Mesopotamia. Cradle of civilization. That's a cradle of civilization. All right, so it's talking about that landmass, the cradle of civilization in ancient Syria. All right, so let me read on. It says, verse 5, therefore his heights was exalted above all trees of the field, and his boughs were multiplied, and his branches became long because of the multitude of waters when he shot forth. All right, so it's not only talking about the literal trees. All right, in ancient times, man and woman were called Adam. Just like nowadays, all right, a man and a woman are called what? Human, So Adam, was really means, both male and female. That doesn't mean that Adam, the name Adam of our ancient ancestor, is male and female. All right, what that's talking about is his name was actual Adam. All right, and he was set up above all other people. So everybody else was called Adamites, just like Jacob. All right, which is our forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, he was named Israel, so therefore all of us are Israelites. Same thing with Adam. Adam's name was Adam, and the people under him were called Adamites. All right. So it says, verse 5, verse 6, all the fowls of heaven made their nest in his boughs, and under his branches did all the beasts of the field bring forth their young, and under his shadow dwell all great nations. All right, under his shadow dwell all great nations. All right, so you had, when in Genesis 2, all right, when the Lord brings all the animals to Adam, and he starts naming all the animals, all right, and everything dwells underneath Adam. Why? Because Adam was that big tree, and everybody dwelt underneath Adam. He was in rulership. All right. It says, and under his shadows dwell all great nations. All right. So all the spirits come back. So in ancient times, we weren't called Israelites, but the spirit of an Israelite was here back then. When Adam was here. Salakia. It says, verse 7, thus was he fair in his greatness. All right, it's talking about Adam. In the length of his branches, for his root was by great waters. All right, so Adam's kingdom was in the Garden of Eden. So from that time, you had wicked people. You had wicked spirits back then, man. That which, I'll get that in a minute, Lord willing. All right, but it says the cedars in the garden of, the cedars in the garden of the Most High could not hide him. So let's go to Genesis chapter 2. All right, which that can also start going into, the difference that is between Israel and all the other nations, man, which is what? The breath of life, which is actually the Holy Spirit, the spirit of prophecy, all right? The spirit of rightness, of righteousness. So this is Genesis chapter 2, and let me see. Genesis 2 and 6. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. It says, and Yahweh, our power, formed man of the dust of the ground. All right, formed man, not one man, but man all, in general. And the breath of his nostrils, the breath of life, and man became a living soul. So that breath of life is not talking about, people could breathe now. That breath of life is the Holy Spirit. All right, the spirit of prophecy. All right, which only the 144,000 could really read this Bible and understand it. So it said, so let me get that actually. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. Esdras, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. And the verse 24. Let me see. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. All right. So, wisdom, the Spirit, the Holy Spirit doesn't enter into a wicked man. All right. The Holy Spirit enters only into a righteous man, because the spirit of a prophet, all right, is subject unto a prophet, man. All right. So it says, verse 25, for she is the breath of the power of the Most High and pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no undefiled thing fall into her. You see? So that wisdom, knowledge, understanding was the breath of life that was given unto Adam. And that's why he was made ruler. Same thing with Solomon, which Solomon is actually Adam, because Yahweh Shai was Adam, all right, and Solomon was Yahweh Shai. So that spirit kept coming back until it fulfilled its time. Like Job says in chapter 14. All right. But the same thing with Solomon. Whenever Solomon, all right, whenever Solomon had that spirit and that power, all right, all nations were subject unto Solomon, man. And he was made richer than any man on earth, all right? He was much richer than anybody in current times, man. Much wiser, man, all right? And Yahweh Shai stated what? Behold, greater than Solomon is here, all right? So Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, man, his kingdom is going to be set up on high, So all those spirits, man, when they come back, all right, those spirits usually come back to do the same things that they did a long time ago, like the Khazars, the Caesars, all right? Those are your modern day presidents, modern day rulers. So it says, verse 26, for she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of the Most High, and the image of his goodness. All right, and we know Yahweh Shai HaMashiach was the image of the Most High, and he was the unspotted lamb, without blemish. All right, so Yahweh Shai is the epitome of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. He was pure. So that's it on that one. Going back to wisdom, Genesis chapter 2 and verse 8, it says, and Yahweh, the power, planted a garden eastward, all right, eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed, all right, which was really the Lord, So when he planted that garden, he set him on top as a ruler over all man, you know, men, women, children. That's who he put on top of everyone. All right, that man that he formed, that he created to be that ruler. You see? So when you go back into Ezekiel chapter 31 and verse 8, the cedars in the garden of the Most High could not hide him. The fir trees were not like his boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches. All right, so the people of Adam, they were not to be compared to, man. All right, they were not to be compared to, you know, because they were set up on a higher standard, man. The same thing with nowadays. Now we're called Israel. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Now our people are not to be compared to these other nations, man. So like, you know, our people are not to be compared to these other nations. Why? Because our people far exceed these other nations, man. You know, our people, you know, are really the only ones that can sing psalms to the Most High. All right, the only people that is really, you know, told to sing psalms to the Most High. All right, because we're a kingdom of priests, you know, of kings, man. So back in Ezekiel 31 in verse 8, it says the fir trees were not like his boughs. The chestnut trees were not like his branches. Not any tree in the garden of the Most High was like unto him in his beauty. All right, so the wisdom, knowledge, understanding that was given to the ancient Israelites before they were called Israelites, because we were a people before we were a place. All right, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding that was given to them was not to be compared to these other nations, man. Israelites were so, you know, so far beyond these other nations. All right, so when people start saying, you know, the Atlanteans and all this and that, really, who are those people? All right, who are these magical powers? Who are these, you know, prosperous people? Israel. All right, it's always been Israel, man. You know. So let me read that again. It says, not any tree in the garden of the Most High was like unto him in his beauty. It's calling him a him, all right, signifying it's a man. It's not talking about it being, you know, some literal tree that people pulled fruit out of. That makes no sense. All right. So let me go back to Genesis and find that. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 15. And Yahweh, the Most High, took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. All right? To dress it. To dress it with what? Population. To populate. All right? And to keep it, it says, and Yahweh, the Most High, commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. All right, so the Most High is saying, you can take any woman, all right, out of these trees, man. All right, out of any of these trees, you can freely go in and you know, take women. All right. It says, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou shalt eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. All right. So when you eat of this wicked, all right, why does it say good and evil? All right, because when you know evil, you know good, man. When you know good, you know evil. All right, it's like a math equation. All right, you damn, what's that word? Shit. Damn, I can't remember what it's called in math. It's been so long, you know. But by knowing one, you basically know the other. You know? So that tree of good and evil, which was a wicked man, all right, a wicked seed line, all right, of that wicked tree, all right, you're not gonna take. You see? Don't take of that wicked seed line, man. You know, it says shall surely die. And Yahweh the Most High said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a help meet for him. Out of the ground Yahweh formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called them, every living creature, that was the name thereof. All right, so every living creature was named by Adam, like we read that everything was brought under that one tree, you know, and no other tree stood up like that one tree, which was what? The seed line of Adam. All right.
It's politicians. It's so freaking. It's not a. It's a term.
I think that's it on that, you know. So, you know, that serpent, you know, that serpent in Genesis is not talking about, you know, a literal serpent, you know, that was moving around. You know, it's talking about a man. All right. So let me set this one up. I'm gonna set this one up, and I'm gonna go back to Ezekiel 31. Slovakia. Yep, let's get that one right there. Ezekiel 31 and verse 9. I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden, you see, so now it's going back to that time. So that chapter was really talking about, you know, describing the land of Edom. Like I showed you, ancient Assyria, all right, was really the cradle of civilization. All right. It says the fertile crescent, all right, is what it's called. Verse 9, I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Edom that were in the garden of the Most High envied him. All right, and that's why that serpent deceived Eve, because she's the weaker vessel. All right, the woman is the weaker vessel. So that serpent deceived Eve, and by Eve, Adam was deceived. So let me get this. 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 7. All right, it says, honor your wife as the weaker vessel. You know, so the women are weaker vessels, man. So let me go back to that. 1 Peter 3, Slovakia. Misspelt it. It says, likewise, 1 Peter 3 and 7, likewise ye husbands dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. All right, so the women are weaker vessels, man, and that's how Satan got to Adam. All right, by that weaker vessel, the woman. All right, so Adam was trying to do good by his woman, you know, and he fell. Same thing with Solomon. All right, Solomon did the same thing, man. You know, by trying to be, you know, with his women, he fell from the grace, or not from the grace, Salakia. He fell from worshiping Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right, or Yahweh the Most High. You know, he fell after those dumb idols, man. All right, so let me go into a weaker vessel. All right, weaker is Strong's G772. which is asthenas, all right, which means weak, infirm, feeble, all right. So she's the weaker vessel. We're weak, but she's weaker, all right. So it says, vessel, Strong's G4632, a vessel, an implement in the plural, household utensils, domestic gear, metaphor, a man of quality, a chosen instrument, in a bad sense, an assistant in accomplishing an evil deed. Point blank period, man. An assistant in accomplishing an evil deed. And what did Eve do? All right, by Satan, Eve was beguiled. You know, let me get that one. Can't remember where it was at. Eve beguiled. 2 Corinthians 11:3. But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your minds should be corrupt from the simplicity that is in the Messiah. All right. So how was Adam deceived? Through the woman. All right. Why? Because Eve was deceived by a serpent. Let's look up that word serpent. All right. It says Strong's G3789. Ophis. All right. Snake, serpent. With the ancients, the serpent was an emblem of cunning and wisdom. The serpent who deceived Eve was regarded by the Jews as the devil. All right. So that wicked spirit, man. All right. That wicked spirit is what came down. All right. Not came down from the heavens, but came down unto Eve and deceived her. All right. He was like, yo, you're not going to die. All right. You're not going to die. You know, really, the Most High is just afraid that you're going to know everything like him. And we know how wicked our women are, you know. So with all that, what happened? Eve fell. All right. She fell. She was deceived. And then she gave to eat to her husband. And then he fell and he was deceived. You know. So, you know, let me go back to Psalms 58, you know, to prove that it was a man. And verse 1. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart you work wickedness. You weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. All right, so that serpent that beguiled Eve is not an actual literal serpent. All right, because that doesn't make any damn sense, man. You know, that serpent that beguiled Eve was a man speaking lies, you know, speaking that poison like a serpent. Because what does poison do? You know, what does poison do to the body? Kills it. It kills the body, man. You know, and that poison is bad. What is the poison? Sin. All right. That sin is what that poison is, man. You know. So that poison, all right, that was spoken unto Eve and then to Adam, it ended up killing them. All right, because sin is transgression of the law. All right, and if you transgress the law, you done, you dead. You know. So all these things, man, you know, that we were taught growing up, you know, to me it didn't make any sense, to be honest. I accepted it, you know, because I was trying to be faithful, you know, unto the scriptures. And as I grew up, I was like, yo, maybe the scriptures are just not true, you know, because this religion is not teaching me what the scriptures are saying, or whatever it's saying. They're misinterpreting what it's saying, you know. And that's why you have a lot of Jakes that are leaving Christianity and all these other, you know, even other Israelite camps that aren't speaking complete truth, you know, because it won't make sense to them. All right. So it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of the charmers, charming never so wisely. All right? So you had prophets from the beginning of the time. All right? You had prophets from the beginning of time, and then you had deceivers. You know? So that was that tree that we shouldn't have taken from. The deceiving tree. You know, the deceiving seed line. The deceiving nation. You know? Which eventually, you know, came back as Cain and Abel. You know? And then Cain sinned against his brother by killing him. Alright? Because Abel was righteous. And the Most High accepted his offering. But he didn't accept Cain's offering because he wasn't righteous, man. Even the Most High told him, if you, you know, sacrifice, you know, basically in righteousness, will not I accept your gift? You know, the Most High was telling him, I would accept your gift if it was a righteous offering, man. But you're wicked, you know? So that's why Cain was wroth with his brother Abel. And that's why he rose up against his brother and slew his brother Abel. All right? And the blood of Abel, all right, was crying out to the Most High even up to date. You know? And then that wicked seed line of Cain came back after the flood through Shem, through Eber, all right, through Abraham, you know, through Isaac, and his name is Esau Edom, the wicked, all right? And the righteous of Abel came back through Seth, all right, came back through Abraham, Isaac, and came back through Jacob, and then later named to Israel. You see? So the nation with the wisdom, knowledge, understanding was given to Israel from before they were called Israel, man. You know, the Most High formed us in the belly. You see? He knew us before we were formed in the belly, man. The Most High has absolute infinite, all right, infinite wisdom, man. Never ending. Always expanding. All right? So that was it in the book of Psalms 58. You know, basically telling you that the lies are the lies of a serpent, man. You know? So nowadays, those lies, these people, you know, they're snakes, they're serpents, anti-Messianic people. You know, they're not according to the will of the Most High on the right hand side. They're according to the will of the Most High on the left hand side, man. All right, which is wickedness. You know, transgressors of the law, man. So going back to Ezekiel 31 and verse 9, I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of the Most High envied him. You see? So all the trees, which were nations, all right, that were under that tree, envied him because he was so great. And guess what? That's what they're doing now. They envy the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American because they're the only ones that can truly worship Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So what do? They cut us away from our power, all right? Just like they did in the ancient times, man. So let me bring that one out in Ecclesiastes. The water Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai for bringing that back into my spirit. All right? So this is the book of Ecclesiastes. So lucky, I went the wrong way. Was it Ecclesiastes? Yeah. Ecclesiastes chapter Let's start off at verse 9. There's also one in chapter 3, I believe. Yep, there it is. All right. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. and there is no new thing under the sun. You see? So whatever happened back then is going to happen again, man. History repeats itself, you know? History repeats itself, man. All right? So because the wicked rose up into power in ancient times, so will the wicked. You know, that's poetic, man. All right? That's poetic. All right? I forgot what that type of poem is called, but you basically start out with, you know, it would be like going back to Genesis chapter 1. All right? Making a similitude right now. You know, it'd be like going to Genesis chapter 1 in a poem and saying, in the beginning, verse 1, the Most High created the heaven and the earth. And then the very last sentence in the whole scripture would be, in the beginning, the Most High created the heavens and the earth. All right, so that's what the Most High is doing. In the beginning, he created these nations, and he created one nation to rule over all those other nations. And the nations envied that top nation. All right, so they decided to cut him off from the Most High so that they could rule, you know. And now the end story is what? That same serpent, that same deceiver is up in power, all right, cut us off from our power, you know, so that he can rule. And that's the last rulership, man. That's the last rulership, all right? So that which was is to be, you know. There's no new thing under the sun. So let me get that in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 15. That which hath been is now. You see, so that which was in the past is now, all right? Rome came back again, man. All right, Rome is here back again, you know. It says which is to be have already been, and the Most High requireth that which is in past. All right, so because you slay the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, guess what? The Most High requires that blood. All right, so going back to the book of Job chapter 20 and verse 4, and it reads, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. All right, so what's 20,000 years? Let's say, what's 20,000 years to infinity? All right, what was that? The book of Psalms. Man, let me see if I can find it. You know, because that one was beautiful, man. What does it say? One day. Let me see if I can find it. One day. Kingdom is yep, there it is. Let me see. Psalms 84. Alrighty, let me get that one. You know, because it's true, man. You know, what's 20,000, 30,000, even 50, 100, maybe even 500,000, maybe even 1,000,000 years here on earth, all right, in captivity, compared to ruling in the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, so let me go to the book of Psalms 84. Psalms 50, 60, 70, 80. One more. Actually, I think it's right up here. Yep, I had it right here. Psalms 84 and 10. For a day in thy courts is better than 1,000. I had rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my power than to dwell in the tents of wickedness. All right, so it's nothing. All right, so all the rulership and all the BS that we've experienced here on this earth, man, it is nothing to be compared to the kingdom of heaven. You know, so all these years that we've been in captivity over and over and over and over and over, sound like a broken record. This is our last captivity, man. You know, so when we go into the kingdom of heaven, it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna seem like just a moment, man. Just a moment. We were in captivity for so long, man. You know, it was only a couple thousand years. All right. So when we go into the kingdom of heaven, we're gonna be like, yo, you know, fuck those memories, man. You know, fuck those days. We're talking about right here, right now, man. We're enjoying life, and that's how it's gonna be in the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, so the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. You know, the rulership of the wicked is only for a moment, man. Though it seemed like it's prolonging, all right, it's really not. Everything has to be played out, man. And eventually, all Israel's gonna rule over, all right, this whole entire world and worlds, planets, galaxies, you know? So back in Job chapter 4, or chapter 20, and verse 6, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? All right? So who is that man? Who is that man that's set up above everybody else? Well, look at the kingdom, man. Who's ruling over this kingdom? You know? Who's the privileged one? You know? Who's the one you can't speak out against? Because then you'll get striked on YouTube. Who's the one you can't, you know, go up to his face and tell him fuck you without getting shot up by a police officer? Who's the one that can commit the same crime and not go to jail for anything? All right? Who's the one that can be so atrocious, you know, and not pay for it? You know? That's who the devil is, man. That's who that lying serpent is. You know? And that red dragon in Revelations is talking about a group of people, man. That red dragon and his angels is talking about a group of people. All right? Because also, you know, Elder Tahar brought this out the other day, and it was just so beautiful, man. Beautiful, you know? Get that red dragon. Revelations 12 and 3. What was that other one? Give me a second so I can get that Revelations. You know what? I have it written down over here. Ezekiel 29 and 3. I'll get that one. Alright, and then I'll have this one open over here. Let's see. Ezekiel. I don't know why I was holding that one, but let me get Ezekiel 29. And verse 3. All right, let me hold that one. This is Revelations 12 and 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. All right, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and didst cast them into the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. All right. So the third part of the stars are what? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. All right. So this damn devil, this damn red dragon, all right, it's talking about a man. All right. And that man, the dragon is like a serpent, you know, that fiery serpent. All right. So it's all synonymous to this man, Esau, Edom. You know. So let me get that in Ezekiel 29 and verse 3. All right. Speak and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, Pharaoh, king of Egypt. All right. We know this is spiritual Egypt. All right. So Pharaoh would be a ruler. It says, the great dragon that lieth in the midst of his rivers, which hath said, my river is mine own, and I have made it for myself. So that this is that prideful man, all right, boastful man in Job 20 and verse 6, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? All right, so where's that great dragon? You know, walking around having everybody in fear. All right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans can't say anything because this man, you know, is up there. These other nations are afraid to speak out against him. And lately, all right, we've seen all these other nations starting to, you know, speak out against him. Starting to say, man, you know what, fuck you, man. We're not gonna let you push us around so much anymore. You know? All right, so this devil has been seen for who he really is, man. You know? So it says, he shall fly away as a dream, and he shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. All right? So that Pharaoh, all right, that spiritual Egypt, which is Babylon, which is known as spiritual Sodom, also known as America, all right, United States, that this place is going to come down along with its ruler, man. You know? So the people that saw that beautiful woman, all right, America, when she was young, flourishing, she was beautiful. Now she's all saggy and wrinkly and nasty, you know? A whore that all these other nations only get pleasure out of because they're being made rich off of her, you know, pimping her out and whatnot, you know, but they don't love her. She's not a calmly woman, all right? The Most High doesn't love her, you know? The Most High loves Israel, man, because Israel is that comely woman, you know? She's beautiful. When she is Yasharawan, you know, Yasharawan means upright one. When Israel is the upright one, she's beautiful, you know? And that's who the Most High is married unto, Israel, all right? So we're just basically paying our debts, you know. That's why we have that prayer which says forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, you know, which in the Hebrew is chababwath nawa kasalach nawa chababwath yanawa, you know, forgive us our debts, you know. Chababwath means debts. All right, chababwath, debts, kasalachnawa, our, forgive our, all right, forgive our debts, chababwath yanawa, as we forgive, you know, those that, no, it was salach lanawa, forgiveness to us, all right, chababwath nawa, for our debts, kasalach yanawa, as we forgive chababwath nawa, our debtors. You know, that's why we have that, man, because we have debts to pay to the Most High. All right, that's why we're still in captivity, you know. But in the land of your captivity, you're gonna rehearse those righteous acts, man. So that's why we're waking back up like it says in Ezekiel 37. You know, that's why we have this board, because this board is prophecy, man. You know, you have both the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom coming together in this board, man. All right. And you know, Salakia, that word stick, which is Strong's H6086, all right, Aitazah, which means tree, wood, or a plank. All right. Now, how did we come together? Because of Yahushai's blood, and he was hung on a tree, on wood, on a plank, and he bore all 12 tribes. All right. He bore the election out of all 12 tribes on him to be forgiven. Really, all nation, the whole nation of Israel was forgiven. You know, because we're all gonna, you know, those 2/3 of Israel are gonna come back in the kingdom. You know, and they're obviously gonna be forgiven of their sins because they're gonna be a burnt offering. How are they gonna be a burnt offering? Because of the ICBM missiles that are coming for America, man. You know. So, going back, you see, is there any more? Egyptian know that Yahweh because in the staff of freed in the house of Israel. Yeah. All right, I'll continue. Ezekiel 39 and verse 4. But I will put hooks in thy jaws, Salakia. But I will put hooks in thy jaws, and I will cause the fish of thy rivers to stick unto thy scales, and I will bring thee up out of the midst of the rivers, and all the fish of thy rivers shall stick unto thy scales, and I will leave thee thrown into the wilderness, thee and all the fish of thy rivers, thou shalt fall upon the open field, thou shalt not be brought together, nor gathered. I have given thee for meat to the beasts of the field, and the fowls of the heaven, and all the inhabitants of Egypt shall know that I am Yahweh, because they have been a staff of reed to the house of Israel. All right. So, when they took hold of thee by thy hand, thou didst break and rent all their shoulder, and when they leaned upon thee, thou breakest and madest all their loins to be at a stand. You know, because of the hard captivity in ancient Egypt, all right, and in current Egypt, you know, which Egypt, you know, means double straits. That word straight means hard, bondage. All right, double bondage, man. That's what we had. That's what we have here. You know, especially with these bodies, man. My back has been fucking hurting, man, for months. And they're at work, this stupid ass Edomite. All right, he has done nothing but make it worse. And I've told him about my pains, and all he does is just put more fucking work on me, man. And that just proves that he's the damn devil. All right, that just proves it, man. You know, because a righteous man, he's not going to put worse on you, you know, if he knows that you're righteous, you know, which I believe I am, you know, and I say that humbly, you know, trying to do the best that I can according to the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you know, which, by the way, Shabbat Shalom, you know, to the brothers, all right, because today is the Sabbath. It started yesterday midnight. All right, and it ends tonight midnight, or not midnight, evening. Yesterday evening, Salakia, I correct myself. Yesterday evening to today evening, you know, because the Sabbath is from one new moon to another, from one Sabbath to another, you know, and then it changes to the 8th day, like it says in Leviticus. All right, but you know, I'm trying to be as righteous, you know, as the Most High allows me to be, man. You know, following the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of my ability. All right, following what the Spirit has me to follow, man, which is righteousness. You know, We can't be perfect, but we're rehearsing our righteous acts, man. And that's how we know that we're the true children of the Most High. Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. But that's how we know, that we're the children of the Most High. All right? So, going back to Ezekiel 29 and verse... verse 6, and all the inhabitants of Egypt shall know that I am Yahweh, because they have been a staff of reed to the house of Israel. All right, it says, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will bring a sword upon thee, and cut off man and beast out of thee, and the land of Egypt shall be desolate and waste, and they shall know that I am Yahweh, because he hath said, the river is mine, and I have made it. All right, so the Most High is letting you know, yo, you think you got this rulership? You think you got this on your own? All right, check it. All right, everything that you own right now is gonna be made desolate because I own that river. All right. So, which actually brings me to what was it? There's a lot of scriptures, man. There's a lot of beautiful scriptures. All right, Job. Let me see. Let me get this one right here. Because the Most High is letting, this Egypt, spiritual Egypt, know, all right, that He's the ruler amongst men. Hey, let me get that one. All right, that's Daniel. Daniel, all right, which that that man earlier, I believe him to be a Jake. He doesn't have that wicked spirit on him, man. I believe him to be a Jake. All right. Is it Daniel? What was it? Daniel chapter 4. Salaki. All right. Because if you know the men of the Lord, all right, they're not friendly with too many people, man. Not friendly. I don't want to say friendly. All right, they're not friends. All right, with too many people. All right, because just like the Most High doesn't love everybody, and scriptures tell us to abhor that which is evil. All right, we don't like too many people, man. That doesn't mean we're gonna be terrorists. All right, we're not gonna be no fucking terrorists, man. But we're just not gonna be, buddy with a lot of people. We're only gonna like a certain few. Just like the Most High, He only chose a remnant of Israel, and everybody else is gonna be destroyed, man. But I believe that man to be a Jake, and he hasn't shown any type of, wicked, gesture, snake-like abilities. All right, to be cunning, all right, to be deceitful. So this is Daniel chapter 4 and verse 16. Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him. This matters by the degree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever He will, and sitteth up over the basest of men. All right, the basest of men. Let me get that one in what was it? They were ran out. Damn, it's in the book of Job. Oh. Yeah, that's the one I was trying to bring. Job 30 and 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. All right. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished? For want and famine they were solitary, flying into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste, who cut up the mallows by the bushes, and juniper roots for their meat. they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs and the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Now, what does it mean to be a Caucasian? All right. To be Caucasian means cave dweller. All right. Doesn't necessarily mean that you originated in the Caucasus Mountains. All right. You originated through the loins of Isaac. All right. Which begat Edom and his twin brother Jacob, which is the chosen. All right. But you were a bad child, man. You know, you wouldn't listen to your fathers. You wouldn't listen to the Most High. All right. You're rebellious. You know. So what happened afterward? You try and take everybody else's heritage, like the Romans. The ancient Romans were actually Japhites. The ancient Greek were Japhites. All right, but you took their heritage. You took their place. You know, ancient Israelites. You took their place, and now you disguise yourself as a Jew. All right, but you're not. Like Revelation states, Yahushua. You know, those that say that they are Jews but they are not. You know, but you're actually Amalekites of the seed of Edom, Esau. You know, so that's really who you are, man. Dying, lying devils. You know, which dying too. All right, but you were pushed forth into the caves, man. You know, basest of men. It says to dwell, verse 6, in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles of they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of a base man. They were viler than the earth. And now I am their song, yea, I am their byword. All right, and that is truth, man. That is truth. Like I stated earlier, this damn Edomite at work, man, and this two-third, man, this fucking two-third, you know. Instead of looking and saying, yeah, you know what, those are my brothers, man. All right, we are brothers, you know, and helping us out. He's taking their side, these damn fucking Edomites, you know, and they're just monitoring everything I do. They don't monitor these other two Edomites that I work with. They don't give two shits about what they do. Oh, but whatever I do, yeah, they make sure that they check up on me, man. You know, fucking wicked, man. That's why we don't like this place, you know? That's why we want the kingdom to come, man. We don't give a shit about all these, you know, hoes. We don't give a shit about all these fucking cars, man. Man, fuck these cars, man. You know? They hurt the earth, all right? I'd rather be flying around in a chariot, man. You know? I'd rather have powers worshiping Yahweh Hashem Yahushai righteously, correctly, and directly, you know, than to be in this stupid ass wicked kingdom, man. All right, and that's how we know this place is wicked. You know, that's how we know that this is Babylon the Great, because of the ruler, like it says in Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10. You know, as the ruler of the city is, so are the people, so are his officers, and that's how we know this place is wicked. And that's why we want to get the hell out of here, man. All right, but that was it in Daniel. Going back to Job chapter 20 and verse 9, the eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place anymore behold him. All right, and why is that? Because of the destruction, man. Because of the destruction that's coming to this damn place, man. All right. Isaiah, Isaiah chapter, that's 65, 66. So delighted how we also choose the delusions. You know what? It was 63. So lucky. I was trying to trying to catch up to what my mind was saying. It's Isaiah chapter 63 and verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. All right. And what is the greatness of his strength? The chariots, man. All right. So-called UFOs. It says, I that speak righteousness, mighty to save. All right. So Yahweh had who? Yahweh Shai, his son. And his son is mighty to save, man. You know? And that's who's coming back to deliver us. That's who's coming back to save us. You know, and actually that's the one I had in Psalms. All right. I had that one. And I didn't know why I had that one, but now I do. Let me get this one. Psalms 24 and 3. Who shall ascend into the hill of the Most High Yahweh? Who shall stand in his holy place? He that cleaned his hand and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. He shall receive the blessing from Yahweh, the righteousness from our power of his salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob. Salah, which means to lift up. All right. It says, lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lift up ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord. All right, the Messiah. Ha-Mashiach. You know, it says, who is this King of glory? Yahweh, all right, strong and mighty. Yahweh, mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and lift them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? Yahweh of hosts. He is the King of glory. Salah, lift up. All right, so the Most High is coming back, man. He's coming back to visit, all right, Israel. He's coming back to visit the iniquity of Babylon the Great, the iniquity of the world, you know. That's what he's coming back for, man. He ain't coming back to, you know, be all nice. Like the first time Yahweh Shai came here, man, he was an austere man, but he didn't come here to fucking start slaying people, man. You know? The second time that he comes back, he's coming back as a thief, all right? And Yahweh Shai said that a thief doesn't come back, a thief doesn't come but to kill, all right, to spoil and destroy, man. That's what a thief comes for, you know? So that's what Yahweh Shai said that he's coming back for, man. As a thief in the night. So you can't even see where it's gonna come from, man. You know? So back in, let me see. What's that other one I was trying to get? Psalms. Man, that one's beautiful. Let me see if I can get another one. Oh, that was that. This is Psalms 37 and 11. It says, but the meek shall inherit the earth. All right, meek means humble. The humble shall inherit the earth. Who are the only people that could be humble? All right, really, you know, Israel. All right, right now everything is Israel, man. They're the formers of everything, you know. It says, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. All right, that's Deuteronomy 33, 26 through 29, man. All right, it's all talking about Israel. The wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. And we read that in the Garden of Eden. That happened. All right, it happened during the time of Yahweh Shai. All right, and it happened during slavery, you know. It says, the Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. Man, all right, the Most High is gonna laugh at you, man. He sees your day coming. You know, when you're young and you with siblings and you want to scare him, and you know he's coming around the corner and you're just waiting there, you know, and you're already laughing like, man, it's gonna be funny as hell. You know, that's what the Most High is doing, man. All right, he knows you're about to be destroyed, so he's already laughing, man. He's already rejoicing. You know, the wicked have drawn out the sword, and whose blessing was the sword? Esau, Edom. It says, and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be upright in conversation. All right, so those ICBM missiles are coming for America, man. You know, it says their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. All right, so those ICBM missiles are gonna come back and bite you in the ass, man. All right, that's just how the Most High is, man. He's far out. All right, so because World War III is coming, famine, destruction, the RFID chip, Jacob's trouble, all those things are coming, man. And the Most High is gonna have, you know, those things which you labor for fall back into your own head. You know, it says, verse 16, a little in the righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. All right, so those wicked ass people that you have here in this earth, man, you know, all this shit that they've done, all right, is gonna be destroyed, laid waste, desolate. All right, so this little bit of faith that we have is much better than this whole kingdom. Like I said, what's 30,000 years to infinity, man? You know, it says, for the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but Yahweh upholdeth the righteous. Yahweh knoweth the days of the upright, and the inheritance shall be forever. See that? So no matter what Esau Edom wants to do, man, all right, he's gonna have his arms. He's gonna try and fight with the sword against the Most High, and the Most High is gonna have your own sword fall upon your own heart, man. You know, and that's cold, man. That's cold. All right. Back in let me see. Oh yeah, back in Isaiah 63 and verse 2. All right, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth upon the wine fat. All right, and that's in the book of Revelations. You know, it says, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread up them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. All right, so he's gonna stain, you know, what he's wearing, man, because of the bloodshed that's gonna happen. You know, what is that, Luke? You know, because to be against Yahweh Shai is to be anti-Messianic. You know, so to be anti-Messianic, guess what? You're gonna see death, man. You know, the book of Luke, chapter what was it, 16, 17, let's see, yep, Luke 19 and 27, but those mine enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. That was the Lord, the Messiah. All right, that's what he spoke, that's what he said. Those my enemies that would not that I should reign over them, bring them before me and slay them. You know, that ain't nothing, man. Man, the Most High is cold, man. All right, so going back to Isaiah 63 and verse 3, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. You see? So the Most High is coming back for all you wicked ass dudes, man. You know? Most High is coming back, and it ain't gonna be pretty, man. Whew. You know, so going back to Job chapter 20 and verse 9, the eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. All right, so in the kingdom, all right, those that put us into slavery are going to be slaves, pursuing after Revelations chapter 13 verse 10. All right, those that kill by the sword are going to be killed by the sword. All right, those that lead into captivity are going to be led into captivity. You know, and in the kingdom, you're actually going to be fixing our stuff, man. And right now you have These dudes doing charity for the minority, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right, you are the minority, man. You know, and study shows that within 25 to 30 years, all right, the minority is going to be at zero. You know, because they don't really care about you. All right, so going back to Lucky's stupid ass water bottle. Going back to Job 20 and verse 11, his bones are full of sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. And we read that in the book of Psalms. All right. So these men, these rulers, are nothing but a bunch of liars, man. You know, people voting for Donald Trump, thinking he's so righteous. But you see the way this kingdom is, and this kingdom is wicked as hell. So guess what? Donald Trump is not righteous, man. All right. And people nowadays settle for the best of the two evils, you know? And that's why the Most High has to come back. Because when he comes back, like it says in Isaiah 47, which let me get that real quick, all right? Prove a little something real quick. Isaiah 47 and verse 3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. You see? So the Most High is not coming back. The Lord is not coming back as a man. He's coming back as a power. All right? And he's coming back to slay. You know? Like I read in Luke 19 and 27. Those that would not that I should reign over them, bring them before me and slay them. All right? And like it says in Luke 11 and 23, if you're not with me, you're against me. If you're not gathering with me, you're scattering. All right? So plain and simple, man. If you're not with the Most High, if you're not with the Lord, then you're an anti-Messianic person, which means anti-Christ. All right? Antichrist isn't this dude that's going to pop up with a fucking suit, walking around with a suitcase. All right? It's a bunch of people, man. The spirits. All right? The spirit that dwells within your body. You know, so going back to Job chapter 20 and verse 13, verse 12, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it till still within his mouth. All right. So people say right now there's no need for racism. Yeah, because you guys are on top. All right. But what are you gonna do as soon as you know a minority, all right, takes over? See what they're doing right now with Donald Trump. They're trying to kick out the so-called Latinos. All right. Why? Because they're taking our jobs. All right, you go work in the fucking sewers, man. You go work in the fields. You know? Get used to that judgment that's coming. But you won't. You can't. You know? Your bodies ain't built for that type of stuff, man. It says, verse 14, yet his meat in his bowels is turned. It is the gall of asps within him. He hath swallowed down riches. He shall vomit them up again. Now nobody, all right, nobody wants to vomit. All right, nobody wants to go home and vomit. People that are about to vomit, they try to hold it in, you know. But the Most High is telling you, letting you know, those riches that you got by deceit, all right, this land, you know, these riches, which is the, you know, having the waters subject unto you, resources, all those riches that you got, you're gonna have to pay them all back, man. You're gonna have to give them all back, you know. It says, he has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of asps. The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, and the brooks of honey and butter. That which he labored for, shall he restore. He shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be. He shall not rejoice therein. All right. So let me go to that real quick. Job chapter 20. It says, shall the restitution be? Verse 18. All right. That word restitution is the word thumb wara in the Hebrew, which means Strong's H 8545. That which is exchanged, to exchange, substitute, recompense. All right, when you receive a compensation is a payment. All right, so recompense means to pay back. All right, so payback. The Most High is going to pay back that which you did. All those wickedness that you labor for, all that wickedness that you labor for, the Most High is going to pay back. All right. So it says, verse 19, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he has violently taken away, a house, and house which he builded not. All right. So he didn't build Israel, man. You know, he didn't build, you know, the pharaohs did not build Egypt. It was the slaves, which were Israelites. America did not build this great country on their own. All right. This great country was built on the back of slavery, man. You know, that's all it is. You know, it says, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. Why? Because America is going to be nothing but a bunch of heaps of ash, man. You know? It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in strait. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, all right, so when you're about to fulfill the lusts of your wickedness, it says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, which is what the ICBM missiles, all right, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. You see? So while you're eating, you're not done eating your you know, you're not done eating your food, and the Most High is going to make you vomit it all back up, man. You know, that sword is going to fall back upon you. It says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast out his fury upon of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall free from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Which is what? The ICBM missiles. Same thing you read in Joel chapter 2. All right? It's the same thing. You know? So those ICBM missiles are coming for America, man. You know? That's why it's going to burn with fervent heat. It says that the sky, all right, is going to depart like a scroll, come together. You know? Which is that mushroom cloud that you get from a nuclear weapon. It says, verse 25, it is drawn and cometh out of the body, all right, which is the silos. Yea, the glistering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. All right, so that ICBM missile coming out of the silos, man. You know, that's what that's talking about. It says, all darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. All right, so after those ICBM missiles hit, and this place is nothing but a heap of ash, all right, a desolate wilderness, those that are left behind are going to be in straits, man. They're going to go into slavery, you know. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. All right, in the day of the wrath of the Most High, man. So that's when he comes back and casts judgment up in this place. This is the portion of a wicked man from the Most High, and the heritage appointed unto him by the Most High. You see? So everything has been written aforetime, man. You know? And it's for that reason. For Esau, Edom to be destroyed. You know? So let me go to Isaiah 47, and I'm going to end it with the last few verses. Isaiah 47 and 14. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor a fire to sit before it, because it's going to be desolate. All right, there's going to be nothing left to burn. You know, you put fire in ash, and what is it going to do? Nothing. All right. So all these green trees and all these things that are, you know, left out in the world to burn up to spark a fire, nothing's gonna be here to spark a fire, man. Everything is gonna be left desolate, you know. So it says, there shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to see before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander everyone to his quarter, none shall save thee. All right. So when that desolation comes, man, nobody's gonna be able to save you. All right. Until you 2/3, nobody's gonna be able to save you, man. So that's why it's so important for us to stay rooted in this truth. All right, and continue to worship Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So with that, Akim, I want to say shalom. All right, peace and blessing to the 12 tribes of Israel, to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, to you election out there. All right, pushing out this word in sincerity and in truth. I say shalom, and as always, giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Ruach Kodash. And I want to give double honors to our apostles and elders for teaching us this truth to rule well. Shalom, Akim. Stay strong out there.